Hello, Brawlers, and welcome to the BakuTalking Longer Podcast. I'm Haru Ren, and we got another guest for you guys today. You guys may know him as Everett Ray or Calloway Storm, but most of you might know him very recently as Falcron in Bakugan Rising. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the man behind the voices himself, Josh Graham.
Yay. Hello. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. Appreciate being on the show.
It's great to have you on the show, man. It's just
Thank you.
I've been talking about getting more guests on the show, and then when you reached out to me, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it.
I'm in. No, man, I love your videos. Like every time when I first found you, I was like, man, I loved your honesty. I loved how like in depth you got, and you pull no punches, which I like. You know, like you're a fan, but you give honest opinions, which is really great, and I really appreciated that.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, it means so much coming from you. You are the guy that plays Everett Ray. You are the guy that plays Calloway Storm, and you play Falcron. You do a lot of voices on the Bakugan show, and everybody enjoys your work. Everybody enjoys your work.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's always interesting because sometimes you never know. You know, if a show's popular, like obviously you know people like the show, but you never know how much people like your characters or if you're doing a good job. So I'm glad that people enjoy what I've done so far. It's always a blast. I have a lot of fun on the show. So.
Oh yeah, when you so you play a lot of characters, and like Falcron, Phantom Thief Storm, Everett Ray. Mm-hmm. A lot of people might not know this, but you also did the dad of the triplets.
Oh my god,
the dad of the Rowdy Reds.
I've done a lot of a lot of those like one-off side characters. I don't know if you guys remember in the second season where basically the banker was coming to buy, they're trying to get to do the battles from the banker. I don't know if you remember that guy. He was like a guy yelling through a megaphone.
Oh yes, the one that was supposed to buy the battlefield from.
Yeah. That was me too. Yeah.
Oh, that was you too. Oh.
Yeah. Random characters on it, but yeah, I totally forgot that I did the dad.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, a lot of people a lot of the voice cast sometimes will do like smaller parts like in the show.
Yes.
And so for example, like Devin I think does Arcleon as well.
Yes, he does a lot. I think.
So how close are you? So how close are you guys working together?
In terms of like friendship wise, or just in terms of recording? What do you mean?
Friendship and business wise.
Friendship wise,
how acquainted are you guys?
Yeah, I feel like me and Dev talk. I think I would call us friends. Obviously, with the last 2 years, everything's kind of distance. I haven't seen him, but yeah, I first met him probably 7 years ago. So, and then I've obviously been aware of him since then because he's probably one of, if not the best one of the voice actors in Canada, right? So I've been aware of him for a long time, and for the past few years, we've been close. We've been on a couple shows together. He's on Mysticons, and then obviously when Bakugan came in, I got to see him a lot more. We pass each other in the studio. So yeah, he's a great guy, and he's super talented, as everybody knows. I know everybody loves Dev. So. Oh
yeah, totally. But speaking of you, like how long actually have you been in the voice acting league?
The voice acting league? Yeah, I probably full time, when you first start off, I guess with anything, you're never fully in it right away. I'd say full time, I've been doing this for about 5 years, and then I got into this business probably 8 to 9 years ago.
8 to 9 years ago. Oh,
yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I did try to do my research on you before we started doing this.
Okay.
I did try to look you up on
right.
And one of the roles that you were a part of was the clumsy elf called the Seventh Dwarf.
Yes,
Bobo.
Bobo. Yes.
It was like in 2014. I think I remember seeing that movie.
Yes.
And apparently you were the Seventh Dwarf.
I was Bobo, yes, the seventh dwarf. Yeah. Yes. That was actually really like when my career really changed. That movie, and it was funny the final audition, because I don't know if you've done some other interviews with other actors, if you know what a callback is.
Oh yeah, the callback, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's kind of like the next step before it's coming to the final decision on who they want to choose for whatever role. And yeah, so that was really one of my first real big animation gigs. And then on that same day, I also booked for like Family Channel, that TV show.
Family Channel.
Family Channel. It's a Canadian kids television show, Family Channel. But I ended up being like the voice of that network. So that was kind of when I really geared into full-time voice acting, once I kind of landed that movie and then that other role. That kind of got me started. But yeah, Seventh Dwarf was was a fun one. It was interesting. It was all dubbed, right?
Yeah. So that was quite the experience.
Yes.
I can tell you that watching the movie.
Yes. Oh man, it's funny because I a lot of people don't like that movie, so it's hard to talk about that, because I know some people aren't the biggest fan of it. But yeah, it was interesting. The guys from Germany came over and they directed, and so there was interesting communication issues because they could speak English, but like some words they didn't really have the grasp of like what that meant. So it was a really interesting process. It was about 9 days. That's all it took to do the recording for the movie. But yeah, that was my first kind of real big thing that I had.
Now moving on from like the Seventh Dwarf, now we fast forward all the way to Bakugan. This was when I finally got the grasp of Josh Graham playing Everett Ray in Bakugan. Tell me all about that. What was the direction what was the direction you took from going into a movie and then going towards something as big as Bakugan?
Yeah, Bakugan was interesting. Obviously, as everybody knows, it's been around, and this was kind of like the reboot, the rehash of it. Mm-hmm. So with in terms of the audition process, it kind of just it's funny with animation. Usually, when you get stuff, the characters kind of change. Like you'll audition, and then when you get into the booth, the kind of character description changes a little bit. So I feel Everett in the beginning, I feel he's changed. He's become a little bit more slimy as the seasons kind of have gone on. He's kind of more a snake in the grass. But yeah, so for me, it was exciting. I Bakugan. I knew, there was like a lot of fans, great toy line. So there was a lot of excitement for me coming into that audition, and I was super happy to have booked that part.
Yeah, exactly. When the reboot was announced, like a long time ago, and then all of a sudden we finally got it. It was like a really hyped thing, and
yes,
how when that hype was when that hype was happening, how excited were you that you were gonna be able to be part of that series?
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited. I think for anybody. I can't speak for all actors, but anybody in this business, I think, wants to be a part of something that has some mainstay. There's a lot of shows that I have, been on that maybe you only get like a 1-season thing and it kind of goes away. So I think, anytime you can come into a property that has an established fan base, that has some history, it's always, you feel really good about it, and it's just exciting knowing that there's going to be a lot of people watching. And nowadays, since everything's streamed, I remember everything was put on Netflix, so that was really nice too, that I knew people were going to be seeing my work and enjoying the show. And I think that was, it's a different thing coming into a project that has a history versus a project that is kind of brand new and you don't really know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, were you like frightened at all? Like, were you worried that people might not like your character or your or how you project your voice into that character? Yeah,
I mean, that's a fear all the time. Anytime I do stuff, I always obviously you want to do your best. You want to make sure people like what you do, but I think that's always a fear, no matter what. And I guess, the fact that the show had a history, like you want to do better even more because you want to make sure this new reboot is a success. So I think it was there, and I guess I didn't really think of it too much. I try not to think of it because if you do, it could kind of sabotage your performances and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely always come in trying to do a good job. And since Everett is kind of a villain in a way, it's you want to make sure that he's not hated too much. Like you want to not like him, but you don't want to hate him so much that you don't want to watch the show. You know what I mean? So there's that fine balance.
It worked out though, because Everett is now in 3 seasons in a row. He's the main villain. So obviously you're doing something right. But another thing that Spin Master, I think, casted you for the voice of Calloway Storm, the Phantom Thief, and I gotta tell you, that's probably I said this in the video of my analysis on Storm. That is probably like my most favorite character that you have ever performed as, and Calloway Storm has like so much depth into it, and just has a huge history and a close relationship with our heroes. But what was the conversation that they had when they told you, hey, you're gonna be Calloway Storm now? Like, what was that conversation like?
Right. So again, for the audition process, funny enough, the first couple auditions, they wanted almost like a Jack Sparrow type. So in the beginning, before like we started recording, but during the audition process, there was like a lot of, kind of fiddling around and trying to figure out what they wanted with him. So in the beginning stages, he was a little bit more, I don't know how to explain Jack Sparrow. I don't want to say a drunk, because I know Jack Sparrow drinks a lot, but that's not what they wanted. But it was kind of a different vibe. At the end form of Storm, he's like, very aristocratic, and his aesthetic is important, and the value of things is important to him. So it was kind of a shift to that. But again, like you said, he has a lot of depth, and playing him versus Everett, for instance, Everett is kind of just about the one thing. He wants the attention. He wants the views. He doesn't care. He just kind of wants all that. And Storm kind of has some layers to him, and it gives me a lot of room to play. And I loved him a lot. I really did. I was sad. I was sad the way it ended that season, but he's one of my favorite characters too. Yeah,
that was such a disappointing ending.
I know. I've heard a lot of people wasn't like tied up.
Yeah, like the ending the ending was just so disappointing. Like you had this team Havoc led by Storm, and that pretty much carried through the season, and all of a sudden they get an ending where like, what happened?
Yeah, I know.
Just like 2 seconds of what happened. Storm scratching his head, and McHugh looking around.
Yeah, I know. That's the tough thing. I feel like that season there were so many pieces, right? There's so many characters, and like you said, the team of villains, right? You have Havoc, you have McHugh, you have Everett, you have everybody kind of just, and it's tough. I feel that's the fine line when it comes to shows. When you have a lot of characters, sometimes it's tough to tie up all the loose ends at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And, it really does seem like Armored Alliance introduced and presented like a little bit too much characters.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot, and I mean, for the most part, I think they did a good job trying to keep everything interactive. But it's like one of those things at the end, like that. There's so many storylines interweaving into one that, even for me, I was hoping for a little bit more resolve with Ajit and Storm. But yeah, I mean, that's what ended up happening. You gotta take what you get sometimes,
Yeah, you definitely carried the villain team on your back. You were voicing Everett and you were voicing Storm. You were 50% of the team.
I was. I'll take it. Yeah, no, that was fun too. Like, there's a couple episodes, obviously, or not more. There's more than a couple, but there was definitely some overlap where Everett and Storm are interacting. So that was always interesting for me to watch, where they're like actually together side by side. So
when they're like when they're like talking to each other, do you just talk? So you technically just talk to yourself.
I talk to myself, yeah. That's my life these days anyway, just talk to myself. But yeah, for that, you just kind of like, that's just me talking to myself.
I remember the one episode where they're just attacking A Animus. Everett's like, I think I'll join in. And then Storm's like, I'll sit this one out.
Yeah, he wants nothing to do with it. He's like, no thanks. Storm.
I'm terrible at voices. I can't mimic Storm.
No, man, have fun with it. No, I like Storm. Like, I think Storm almost could have been. I mean, Havoc is a great villain, but like I almost felt like Storm was a villain in of himself, because they were both Havoc and him together. it was just like you almost had two main villains of the show, right?
Yeah, exactly. I said this in my videos. If they didn't make Havoc the main villain, then Storm could have easily made lead villain.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like two really powerful like villains right off the jump, which was like, yeah, it was a fun season. I mean, Geogon Rising is I know it's not done yet, but it's again, it's like a totally different than the last. I'm a big fan. I just like how there's so much going on, and from every season to the next, it's just total flipped over to something else.
Yeah, as like this has been recorded, Geogon Rising is still like in the middle of its season.
Yes. Yeah.
But I got a feeling we might be seeing a lot more of your talent coming soon.
I hope so. It's always fun. Bakugan in terms of all of the shows that I've done in the last couple of years, it's the most fun, and there's a lot of freedom. I think. You said you talked to Julius, and have you talked to anybody else?
I have talked. I've only talked to Julius. Devin is like a so like we tweet each other and stuff.
Right, every once in a while. Right. So I don't know.
I do want to I do intend on getting like more in like Sharjul and
right
on Anna and
Anna.
Margarita.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure they'd all be pumped to do it. I'm sure they would all say as well, like Bakugan gives a lot of freedom to the actor to have some fun and play around. So it's a really fun show. And again, with what's happened and recording from home, like it's a dub, right? So usually you're following a screen and you're having to like speak and keep up the pace with the screen. But now it's kind of the engineer kind of makes everything work.
Yeah, I don't envy how I don't envy you guys in the job that you do, because like you have to read a script, right? And then like the animation's already done. You just have to give your voice to it, but you have to sync your mouth into their mouth movements. For sure. That's a thing that I left out a little bit in my review. Like I try not to be too picky about it, because I know like, okay, this is probably one of those shows where it's like, okay, yeah, the voice actors are obviously trying to synchronize their voices into the mouth movement animations of the characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and sometimes you see it more than others, right? There'll be like a big gap in a sentence, and the sentence isn't over yet, but it's like a weird pause, and then it continues on, and that happens every once in a while. But yeah, it is interesting when you have an idea and maybe you can't do it because the timing isn't proper, the way they have it spaced out. You have to kind of hit the beat, and by the time the mouth flaps are open and closed, it has to be done, right? So sometimes that does affect the way a line is delivered. And yeah, I'm sure it happens a lot, but that's kind of the dubbing world, right?
Is there any like kind of ad-libbed moments that you've had where like, okay, I got I still have this amount of lines in this animation. I'll just ad-lib something. Yeah,
sometimes. I mean, Falcron probably more so. Just little things here and there. Like a lot of times, you might have like a 1 or 2 word gap where you can kind of fill things in. So ad-libbing, I know Dev, he I think you know this too, he kind of he tries his best to kind of slide some things in there that are fun. Yeah, he'll slide stuff in there, and they'll let you. I mean, if it works and it's fun and it's funny, they'll let you do it. But
he's not very subtle about that.
Yeah.
He says that.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, for me, I don't necessarily do it as much on this show. A couple other series that I've done, a little bit more ad lib. I'll do more ad lib because it's not so constrained to a time limit or a mouth flap. But not as much. I've done some with Falcron, but yeah, not so much with Storm or Everett. They're always tight in terms of words.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we actually spoke to Julius in the previous podcast. He says that he originally auditioned for Shun. Was there any character that you were gunning for originally, but you didn't? But they assigned you to Everett or Storm or another character instead?
I think I only auditioned for Everett in that one season, and I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Who? I don't think it was McHugh. Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't gunning for any character. It's always nice to just have the opportunity to do it. But I'm trying to think if there was any other characters that I auditioned for. There was one. I'm just trying to figure out who it is. I can't remember the name though, sadly. But there was one, but I can't remember, man. Sorry.
It's okay, but but it's really funny how sometimes that works out. You could be like going for one character, but then you get assigned another character, and you manage to make that character you get work.
Yes, exactly. Well, and Julius is a perfect example. I mean, like he's the man, really. He's like the Batman of Bakugan, right?
Yeah, because he portrays Magnus.
Yes, right.
Because he says that he originally auditioned for Shun, but they gave him Magnus instead, and it turned out
worked out well. Yeah, it worked out really well. I mean, yeah, because I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel Magnus is probably one of the, if not the fan favorite of Bakugan, right?
Yeah, definitely. If they were to run a popularity poll, I think Magnus might take it.
Yeah, I know for a fact. Yeah, every time I ever see anything everybody loves, any episode he shows up in. So I think he probably is happy he got Magnus.
But any episode that Storm shows up in as well, people like it.
I'm glad. Yeah,
Storm like just this really badass character, and just like the accent.
I know. Yes, he's quite luxurious, isn't he? Yes, I love that. Yes,
He did it, guys.
I did it.
He's
made an appearance looking for golden Bakugan and my apprentice Ajit. Have you seen him? Yeah. So.
Oh my god. Okay. For people that are watching this, don't say that I don't love you. That definitely deserves a subscribe.
That's it. Everybody's just honestly, man. Like I and your channel's growing so quickly. I feel like it's you're on a great path. I mean, you're gonna be up there with Jet soon enough.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't think I'm gonna be up there with Jet.
No, for what you do, like I feel you're pretty original and your production quality is great. So and people appreciate what you do. So you're on the right path. So never say never. At this moment, we'll play some friendly bet.
What would you bet? Would you bet a signed Calloway Storm character card?
Oh yeah, whatever. I'll bet it. I'll put it on the table. Let's do it.
I will bet. Okay, so you put once Shields of Astroya gets released and Calloway Storm's character card gets released, you will sign a copy for me.
I will do it 100%. No questions asked.
And as a counter bet, I will give you a completely built Storm deck. Well, I'll mix it with Everett Ray and Storm.
Done.
So the deck will have Ventus Simoga, Hydronoid X Krikelios, and you know what? Once DMARC gets released, I'll put that in too.
Done. We'll virtual shake.
Virtual shake.
Virtual shake. I'll take it. No, I've high hopes, man. You're really good. I think, like I said, it just YouTube's one of those things where it's random, but you're growing like at a nice consistent pace, and yeah, I think it's all going to work out in your favor. So
thank you so much. It means so much coming from you. Calloway Storm. Calloway Storm. Like immediately as soon as Calloway Storm made his debut, I instantly knew that he was going to be a really great character, and I'm happy.
Wow.
I was right.
Oh man, he's so cool. I love it. Like when he has the mask and his little. I love the character design of it, and obviously his hair, his flowing locks is very nice. I kind of was shocked that he had long hair.
Green.
The streak.
Green streak, and then
like
the long hair. It really fits him. It really fits him.
It worked, and his nice long. I don't know what that coat's called with the long coat.
Trench coat.
Yeah, I guess it's a trench coat. I guess that's probably what it is.
I know nothing about fashion. You probably know way more than me.
You would be surprised. I don't know much, but he's great. I was a big fan, and yeah, I'm glad people liked him too, because that's all you really want, is to have a character that you do that people enjoy, and it makes the show enjoyable. And so I think we had a success, hopefully.
Yeah, that was definitely 100% a success. If anybody says otherwise, I'm sorry. Go back to my video. I will prove you wrong.
Oh, all right. Calling him out.
All they have to do is watch my video. That's it. When it comes to Bakugan and like the creativity around it, do you how much of an input do you have when it comes to these characters? If for example, if the voice director, if you did a take and the voice director said it was good, do you ever say, no, this could be better, and then they allow you to do another take?
Yeah, so for the most part, like if you as a talent, usually how it works is you'll come in, and depending on who the voice, I mean, for Bakugan it's the one voice director, but if you're on a different show, some people will give you like an A and a B take, or an A, B, and a C take, and you kind of will go through it. And then if you don't get it in the A, B, C, and even if they say they like it, usually if you ask, they'll let you do it again. But you don't want to do that too much, because then you might annoy people. Like there are times there's like a happy medium, right? So
and they're not working with like a lot of time, right?
Yeah, right. So if it's a full day, you don't want to take up all the time. So you want to do your best to try to get it. And sometimes, as an actor, I'm like that sometimes, and I'm sure other ones are. You're very picky and you're a perfectionist, but sometimes you just have to, if they say it's good and they like it, even if you don't like it, you just have to trust the people and that it's going to be good, and you just move on, right? I've had that happen.
Yeah, has there ever been at times when you're recording the show where that has happened?
Where I like record something that I don't like? Yeah, oh for sure. There's moments that I'll do the line, I'm just like, I don't like it, but they like it, and so I know, like you said, you're on a time constraint, and you just got to keep moving. And again, the difference with dubbing is sometimes it's just not going to work out the way you think of it anyway, because you have to match the lip flaps and the timing and the way you might want to perform something. It might be just like half a beat too long or half a beat too short, and so you just you have your takes. Just have to give you the thumb up. You move on.
Yeah. You see, voice actors are artists, right? So
I hope so. I mean, it took when I first started, you gain a new respect for voice acting, because there's so much that goes into it, and there's so many pieces, the artistic side, the music that's being used, the direction, and there's just so many facets outside of yourself, the other characters involved. You have to understand you're a part of a whole mosaic, and so you have to understand you have to fit in with all these other pieces, and maybe at the part where you're recording, you don't know what the end product's going to be. There's been shows that I've done where I didn't quite think it was right in my head in terms of my performance, but by the time you see the episode or the finished product, everything's finally mixed, all the characters' voices are in there, everything's happening, it works, right? So you learn to kind of trust other people outside of yourself.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good advice. Though sometimes you might think it might not work, but it might end up working out, right? So
exactly.
Life is funny that way.
100%. And then I think like singers, especially, like some singers will create a song, and the most popular song on their album is the one that they hated the most. That happens a lot. You don't know what fans will like, and sometimes the one that you think is the best, other people may not think that. So you have to understand too, it's art, and art is subjective, and sometimes as the artist, the thing that you do is what you think is the best. Some people might think something else you've done is the best. And so you just learn to kind of do your best and go to the next thing. And I think, like you said, that's good advice.
Yeah, it's such a mirror too, because like when you're doing singing and you're doing voice acting, it's your voice that's being put out there, right?
Right.
So I really like that. I really like that comparison. It's not any different than singing. Sometimes it's like as you said, sometimes the best song on the album was the one you hate the most, and when it comes to voice acting, the part of your line is probably the line that you hated doing the most, and it turns out to be the most iconic. So exactly,
and that happens so much, I feel, for a lot of people. So yeah, you learn, or you try your best to just take a breath and then move on to the next thing.
One of the ones I think I remember from Storm before he tells Hydronoid X Aquos to blast Leah and Ajit, he's like,
Right.
"Do it!"
Yes, do it. Yeah, he's like he hits it. And then I don't know if you remember the episode where they're in the caves and what's I can't remember the name of the episode or the number of the the maze, and it's like he's like, time for it, and I'm just like, what is it? But I had to say it like that, you know what I mean?
Oh yes, that the one with the they combine their energy, and then fourth dimension.
Yes, right, and it's like it's the same thing, like it's time for it, and yeah, I'm just okay. But again, you have to. It's not my favorite way, but again, who knows what people feel when they hear it? I don't know.
It turned out good, actually.
It turned out good. Okay.
Yeah, it turned out good, actually. A lot of people that I've talked to when they were discussing this episode, they're like, you know what? That actually worked. It worked because Storm has to keep up the mystery, keep up that ace up his sleeve, and right. It's code for his teammates, and then and then the fourth dimension move was is just really awesome.
Yeah,
the artwork for that could be on a card.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. There's so much cool artwork as well in the show that you can. I think you took like screen caps of that last episode, and you're like, well, all these could be wallpapers, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know how the cards or how they decide what artwork goes in the cards, but there's definitely from that season a lot of cool stuff they could put on a card for sure.
Oh, I gotta ask you regarding was it 15th episode, 15th episode? I think.
Yeah, that was the last one. Episode. Right.
That was a previous episode at the time I was recording. Yeah, I gotta ask you though. When Everett gets Dimork or Dimork, you pronounce it Dimork. Dimork or something. But
I think that's what they went with.
Fans have always called it Dimork. Something is Dimork actually the official pronunciation for that Bakugan, or is that just something that they told you to?
For me, I remember specifically for that one, and I went with Dimork because that's what they told me to say. So I think that would probably be the official.
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it might not. It might be a funny thing where maybe that isn't it. But that is what I was told when I was recording it, because that was a question whether it was Dimork or Dimork.
Oh, okay. So Dimork is actually the official pronunciation for.
Yeah, like that's how I end up pronouncing him in the show. So I think that'll probably be the official way. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other controversial pronunciations. It's gotten to the point where like it's Final Fantasy levels of controversy.
I know. We need to bring out a guide, which is all this proper phonetically everything. So many characters in Bakugan though. Right? That's the thing. It's like, yeah.
Like, what's the linguistics behind this? Simoga is Samoga.
Yeah, I know. Get him Simoga, or is it Samoga? I said Samoga, right? That's what Storm would say, Samoga, not Simoga, right?
Yeah, it's Samoga.
Samoga, yeah. So, but it's tough. Every time I see the names of Bakugans, I'm like, man, they got to be so unique in trying to name them because there's so many, right? It's like, how do you? I don't know. I feel bad for the people having to come up with the names.
It's like, is it Samoga or Simoga? Is it Tifa or Tifa?
That's good. Put it out there. We got to get a little a book where you can figure out the names proper, like a poster. Just every Bakugan with the phonetics of how you say the name.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. We need like you said, we need like some sort of guide,
an official guide,
because things sound like what we think, but it turns out not to be what we think.
Yeah. And then the moment you go against that thought, you're like, they've always done this, and then it'll be the exact opposite. So that's just the way it works. You'll finally think you have it, and then you'll hear it, and it'll be like, oh, what have I done?
But let's go back through Storm. It sounds like you have. It sounds, judging from what we got in this podcast so far, it sounds like you have fun putting on the accent.
Yeah. No,
is Storm actually a very fun voice for you to do? Just accented. Yeah,
because for me, I don't. in shows get to do accents or change my voice a ton. Like I've got to do like the only other real like accented voice I've ever done in a show is like a pirate, right? It's like, "'tis the greatest day of all." Like, I'm in a pineapple under the sea. Like kind of like that, like a pirate. But is that an accent? I don't know. I don't think so. But other than that, yeah, I enjoy putting on an accent because I don't know, it just feels so different than doing a voice where, it's just a regular North American accent. And so, yeah, I have such a blast. And the fact that he's like, I don't know, I just look at him as this aristocratic, thief. And that's just a funny thought to me, to have this guy that's so put together and he's a thief. I know a Phantom Thief is a great thing, but yeah, I have a blast.
A Phantom Thief is a very popular character that
yes,
go with.
Yes.
You got Joker and you got some other Phantom Thieves from other kind of anime.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but for sure, yeah, the accent, and it just made the character that much funner.
Because it's like outside of your bubble, right?
Yes.
It really feels like you're just another person. You're just another person, or it feels like you have another person that's beside you, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And like even Everett, I mean, Everett doesn't sound like me, but he's in that range, right? Like you can believe that Everett might have hints of me in my own voice. But yeah, Storm is just a totally different outside of me 100%. So it's always was fun to do that one.
But how have you enjoyed Falcron so far?
Falcron is fun. I mean, Bakugan don't talk a ton. I mean, this season I feel that the relationship with the Bakugan and everybody was fun because initially they weren't so hot on being team ups with or especially at Falcron like Winton or Farascal. I enjoyed that aspect that in the beginning it kind of you didn't know if they liked each other, and I like Falcron. I think he's to me he's funny. He's kind of like the guy that thinks he can do everything even if he can't do it. Mm-hmm. Like he'll get the job. He's got this. So I like that personality. So I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we're gonna move on to Bakugan Pro, the TCG. Have you immersed yourself in that? Have you checked out the card game?
So I haven't looked at the Pro, but I want to. Like I know it's a little bit of a different game to go pro on the Pro side, right? Like in terms of the card game. Yeah,
it's like a full-on blown card game. It's like a mix of Vanguard and Yu-Gi-Oh and the
right
Magic.
Yeah, so I want to learn more, like, and especially with the new cards coming out, I want to really try and understand it better. And again, I know Dev he can play, and so I would like to try and figure it out. I'll probably be very terrible, but I would be willing to learn and lose all the time. I would try it.
Oh yeah, and Storm and Everett's Bakugan are all out, so.
Yes.
So, I mean, is that like a deck that you would want to play, or would you want to go with your own kind of thing?
I think in the beginning I would want to try my own. Now that there's like you could fully build one with either or, I would love to try and build a deck, whether it's Storm or Everett, and give it a shot. I mean, obviously I can't say much, but the upcoming episodes, like Everett's Bakugans are pretty tough. So I would love to try and build a deck with him and see what happens.
Yeah, the latest episode, episode 15, we can say spoilers because it's been like over a week.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they really showed off Demork. Everett's lines have always been like, oh, Demork can do this, Demork's fires are cursed, Demork has so much power and all that. It really seems like they're trying to sell Demork to us.
Yeah, I know. Go get it. Go buy it. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, so I would definitely go that route. I think Everett, I don't know, it's my opinion. I feel he's a more formidable opponent in this season.
Yeah, compared to the other seasons where it just seems like he's like a kind of like a punchline or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I feel now, I would definitely try and build it with either one of those guys. Yeah,
because like Bakugan's TCG has a lot more of a following. when it comes to that. That was like the main aspect that drove fans back to Bakugan, is that they have a full TCG now. And, yeah. And it's so cool because Devin knows how to play, and he voices Wyndon Styles, and Julius knows how to play. He voices Magnus. And it's just really cool that the voice actors are immersed into the game as well.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of interactive activity that makes fans really want to like get into Bakugan or come to the series.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
No, I think it's huge, and the fact that they can play. I've seen some, when they were having like actual events, physical events. I know Julius and Devin would go and they would play, and I think that's so cool because most, whether even like in the Marvel universe, you'll find sometimes that the people playing Marvel characters really don't know the history of the character, or they don't know too much. It's always so much better when you have an actor that knows how to play the game, that knows the history or the lore of the game or the show. And for me, now that I have a little bit of a history in the show now, I definitely want to learn it and be able to play it and know what's going on. And once those, I don't know if was it Champions of Astroya, those packs out, those aren't out yet, right?
Champions of Astroya was the video game.
The game. What's the new pack of cards, the pro cards that like people were posting?
The latest one is supposed to be Secrets of the Geogon, but that's been delayed.
But what's the one the one right before that, right? Isn't it
Shields of Astroya?
Shields of Astroya. Yeah. So like I would definitely want to try. I can't get those cards right now.
Nobody can.
But like if those become available, like that's where I would try to start my learning, and I would definitely try to buy some up and get going.
Oh yeah,
I think that would be where I'd start.
Definitely. Shields of Astroya, the only cards that we have so far are from starter decks that are part of that set. But the official set is not out yet, like the booster packs and stuff. But you can get starter decks that have cards that come from that specific set.
Right.
So,
okay.
So yeah,
I'll look into that.
Yeah. Although Storm does not have a character card in any of those starter decks. That was like the absolute.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want. I know. That's the card. I have a card. I have one with Everett, but I definitely would like to try and get Storm if that ever happens. But
definitely. But Falcron you can find easily.
Yeah, Falcron is everywhere. I could do that for sure. And then that's like a totally other route. Like I definitely could do that route. I don't have to go with Everett or Storm. I could do like Winton and Falcron, which I think, and for the most part, there seems to be pretty powerful in terms of what the deck is. Again, I don't know as much as you, but I think they fare fairly well.
Falcon is actually one of those new Ventus beat sticks because he has 700 B power.
Right.
So he's actually pretty decently strong.
Right. So that's so there we go. I have options. I have no excuses. So
actually I got something to show you. And we'll brag a little bit. I have a Diamond Falcon Ultra.
You got an Ultra.
This is the Ultra. So it's like a
Diamond.
The Ultras are a lot more advanced.
Right.
Design.
Yes. So, that's the thing. Like where I'm at, I can't go physically into any store, so it's so hard for me to find any. And I've tried. Like I'll go on eBay and stuff, right? But that's great. You found it. Did you find that in a store, or did you order it?
Yeah, it was found in a store. My brother found it for me. So
nice.
Yeah, because he's like my errand boy. I just tell him, hey, if you're going to that area of the city, can you stop by Toys R Us and look for Bakugan for me there?
Right.
And he'll just buy whatever.
That's not bad. That's always good. It makes things easier because I don't know, like it's so random which store would get what, and so if you happen to find a good one and you have people looking for you, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm working all the time, so I have no time to go. If I'm not at my day job, I'm here editing videos and all that.
Right. Yeah, and that takes up so much time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. When oh crud! I lost my train of thought.
It's all right.
We have such an immersive conversation.
That's it. That's all right. That's the only hiccup. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So when when the invitational was happening, I like how like you mentioned like Devin and Julius attending events and stuff. But there was an event specifically. It was last year, like the year in 2019, I think. 2019, yeah. It's 2019. 2019, yes, 2019.
Right, yeah.
2019, because that was the year Jet won that one.
Right.
Devin and Julius went to Los Angeles to participate in that event. Were you or the other voice actors invited as well? Or was it only Devin and Julius?
I myself was not invited. I don't know. I'm assuming, some other ones were probably invited. I don't know how they go about deciding who they bring. But I wasn't invited, and I didn't even know that event was going on until probably last year. So
I can tell you I wasn't invited.
Soon, but like I said, that friendly bet we got going on, pretty soon you'll be invited. Watch. No,
even if I'm not invited, it's fine. I'm not in it for like some free trip or anything like that. So
no, I hear you. I think like I said, like the route you're going, it's going to just be a matter of time, because you're a great piece to the whole community, right? And you're offering something I feel fairly unique. So and who knows, like we got some time, I guess, before things open up fully again. So by the time that happens, I feel there'll be an invitation probably in the mail. I'm just sending the good vibes because, I placed the bet, so I got to put the good vibes on you.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man.
Yeah. So after Bakugan, do you intend to keep up the momentum, keep up the voice acting?
Yeah. Probably 2019 and 2020 was like the busiest for me. Like I have a couple shows on Netflix and I think it's like Amazon Prime Video and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm always the voice acting for me is always going to be what I want to do, and that's my most favorite thing in terms of the entertainment world. I enjoy voice acting the most, so I'm always going to be voice acting, and hopefully, if Bakugan has me, that I am involved in bits and pieces going forward. Who knows? But that's the plan.
I can tell you, according to a podcast with the broadcast, Gary, one of the lead designers, was on it. He says that he was working on the Bakugan game he's like already in like the fourth year, already planning it, and he's already like working ahead. So I got a feeling that Bakugan is going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
all I really want to say is that I really hope they keep bringing you back, because you are definitely super talented.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it, and I agree. Like, I think the show's doing well, and for the most part, it's on all the places it shoots on Netflix, back on Netflix. I know online it's a little tougher for people to see it, but I have high hopes, and I don't know if I'll be back, but I know I have high hopes for the show, and I appreciate the compliment, because it's a blast to be part of it.
No problem, definitely. And it would be a mistake if they don't bring you back, because you have a wide range, dude.
Oh man, I appreciate it. No, thank you. Yeah, I love it, and if I can keep bringing some cool characters to life, that's, again, like I said, I think for every actor, that's all they really want. They want to do a good job, and they want whatever they put out there to people to enjoy. So the fact that you enjoy it and the fact people enjoy it, I'll keep my fingers crossed. For me. Hopefully I'll be back.
I do definitely want to see you top Storm.
Oh man,
that's gonna be hard to top. But if you do, top it, oh my god, I'm gonna be blown away.
Well, I'll be blown away, because Storm for me was he's especially in Bakugan, like, and a couple other shows I've had some really kind of cool characters and fun characters, but Storm is like right at the top. It's tough. It's between two characters, Storm and another character that I've done, but like he's like a great villain. He's so layered. He's got a lot of personality, and as much as it seems like he wants to like destroy Ajit, I think he really cares about Ajit. So I don't know, like there's so many things about him that makes him unique for me. He's not just a straight and narrow character. So I'll see if I can top him, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And looking at you personally, you really seem like someone that could actually be in like movies and stuff.
Oh man! Well, thank you. Who knows?
You got like the biceps, strong arms and stuff.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man. That's a compliment.
Yeah,
Too many compliments.
I really can see you being in like actual like movies. Like.
Wow, man! I appreciate that.
Who knows? You should definitely gun for it, man.
I know. I mean, like, it's definitely an option for me to do film and TV, but I don't know. Like voiceover. It's my love. I don't know how to explain it. It sounds lame, but it's really in my heart. I love voiceover, but yeah, I think on camera, film, and TV will be in my future, but we'll see. And I appreciate it. Like you said, you gave me some good compliments, so now you put some fire under me.
I'm glad, man. When that happens, you can be damn sure I'm gonna be the first one to buy the ticket.
Hey, perfect. Hey, and if I have any clout, I'll send you the ticket. You don't even have to buy it. That's how it's got to go, right? You got to give that the ticket. Right?
I gotta.
Yeah, that's from the beginning.
You deserve the money.
Oh nah, you gotta pay it back, right? But hey, we'll see. First bet is your bet. That's the first bet is your show. So
all
that's
right,
what
definitely.
Then
I better.
And then after that.
Then I better prepare myself because I gotta find everything.
Oh man, no, I feel good. Like you should feel really good. I think it's you're gonna be on a good path and keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, like I said, that was the thing for me. I appreciated so much was your honesty, and like you can tell you have passion. You can tell that you enjoy it, but you don't how some people don't want to say bad things if they're a fan of a show. Like I think that's how a show grows, right? You hear the good and the bad, and you like really are just super honest. So I think that's great.
Yeah,
it makes you really unique. So
thanks so much. Yeah, a lot of people just like focus on the bad. That's
yes, that's another thing. Yeah,
they have to balance between good and bad. Okay, yeah, the show did this, and I really like this, but the show did this, and it could be a bit better.
Yes, yeah, for sure. You got to have that balance, and yeah, I think that's a good thing about Bakugan is the community. I know a lot of the old fans obviously like the old show. I think that happens with a lot of things. Whenever there's a reboot of anything, people always gravitate. It's like it's not the same as the original, but I think slowly but surely the new seasons are kind of getting their own personality and people are understanding it. So I think the negative stuff is only a learning material for everybody going forward.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. Yeah. But when it comes to like the community, the Bakugan community, at the end of the day, we're all super passionate about this, and we definitely do want it to succeed.
Yes.
Now, if only the virus could go away.
And that's all you want. Oh man.
That just needs to go away, that virus, and then we can all go to our stores and just play again.
I know.
But we're gonna wrap up soon. But just some final questions.
Yeah, sure.
So are you like a fan of anime and stuff?
Yes. So as people I know don't really consider it anime, but I love like Studio Ghibli, and I've always I love them. And look, like obviously I watched Dragon Ball as a kid, and on Netflix now I've watched like Sword Art Online. I'm getting into more, I guess, not the kiddie anime. I'm getting into more, and there was another one. I can't remember the name, and I watched the full season. It's terrible. The one that's like about a wolf and a rabbit. Sorry if it was on Netflix recently.
Wolf and a rabbit.
They're like anamorphic, but they're like animals, and I feel like he's like
I can't remember. I don't think I remember that. It's either I never watched it yet.
Right. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan, and there's just so much for me anime out there. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the opportunity, would you do an English dub for an anime?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, there's so many that are out there. If the opportunity came, I think, and there's the fan base again is so huge. I would never turn it down. If I had an opportunity to do a dub, I'd be there 100%. Yeah.
Because very recently there was the Demon Slayer movie that came out.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a pretty success. That was pretty big success.
Yeah.
I think it might get an English dub soon. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, definitely. If you get like a role in like a English dub for English dubbing in anime, that's that would be super. That would
Huge.
be super sweet.
Yeah, no, I understand how big it is, and I think you could just look on Netflix to get an idea of how big anime is. There's such a huge library of content, and there's so much more. Like you said, there's so many good shows that haven't had a dub yet. So, yeah, I'd be excited if that ever happened.
You mentioned how like you like Sword Art Online and Dragon Ball and all that. What anime in particular would you have liked to get a role in?
Like I said, I mean, I love the Studio Ghibli stuff. Like I love Spirited Away. I love The Cat Returns. It would have been it would be a dream of mine. Again, any anime, would be amazing. But like for some reason, when I watched, and again, I know some people argue maybe that this isn't your prototypical anime stuff. But yeah, I think to be a part of a project by them, I would, in any capacity, that would be a dream of mine. That really would be a dream of mine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That would totally be super sweet because you definitely do have the talent for it.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, and it's just like, again, it'd be hard for me to pick one because there's just so many anime out there. And there's so many cool concepts. I just think it's such a different world than your regular North American cartoon that I would have a blast if anybody wanted me to be a part of anything coming up. It's just it's not that it's not cool to like anime, but I just feel like more so than ever, like anime is so cool on a global scale. When I was younger, because I'm an old man now, but when I was younger, I remember being like, in like elementary school or high school, and maybe anime wasn't the coolest, but like I feel anime is really cool now for a lot of people, and it's like it's out there and people get to see what it's all about. It's not like a stereotypical thing. Now you actually get the characters are cool, and it's just what you'd see from a North American production for the most part. I mean, I know like there's a lot of North American anime now that's trying to mimic the original stuff, but yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, definitely. The thing about anime is that when it comes to like the fan base, there's like a lot more people that are into anime now. It's more more accepting. 100%. They become like such a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, like my girlfriend cosplays, and so like she has like a huge following.
Right.
And like I've dabbled in the cosplay myself, so.
Right.
And a lot of people like enjoy there's conventions and all that stuff.
Do you guys make your own costumes and stuff as well? Like, did you guys spend a lot of time doing that?
She sometimes makes her own costumes. Sometimes she like buys them. So
yeah, right. Okay, because I know that's a huge, like, in and of itself, just some of the costumes that people make. Again, you don't see that anywhere but really anime.
I know. I buy my costumes actually.
Are they expensive? To get like a really nice costume?
They range around like the 100 area or so.
Okay. So like not terrible, but not like cheap or anything either.
Yeah, not terrible, but not cheap.
Yeah, and no, you're right. It's so true. The fan base and the interaction with the fans, it's definitely on another level.
Yeah. It's definitely, Bakugan has definitely adopted that as well when it comes to interacting with the fan base and stuff.
Yeah. No, and I think that's important, and for animes, it goes hand in hand. So you have to really
media.
Yeah, anything. Nowadays, 100% with social media, you want to be invested in talking to your fans and putting stuff out there and interacting. Whether, I know a lot of actors go on Discord and do stuff on Discord now too. But it's interesting because you get to connect with so many more people nowadays. So it would make sense whatever it is, like you said, whatever media you want to be involved with the fans.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, and that's extremely important. That way, you create customers for life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Josh, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute blast.
Man.
And to lead you guys off with a little special present from Josh himself, we are doing actually a special giveaway for you guys, courtesy of the wonderful Josh Graham himself. So how you guys can enter the giveaway? All you have to do is subscribe to here and also Josh's channel, and also comment down below on this video what your favorite Bakugan is. And I guarantee you guys, if you go over to Josh's channel, you are going to find so much cool content that he does. Anytime that I need help finding some Canadian wear or outdoor wear, I definitely go to Josh for his reviews, and it's definitely helped me pick out some very cool clothing that I can wear during the winters, especially here in the harsh winters of Canada. So if you subscribe to Josh, it's a win-win, because not only are you entering the giveaway, but you're also getting cool content. But yes, 3 winners will be chosen, and Josh will be sending out those special Bakugan prizes in the mail as soon as we choose them. All the details are in the pinned comments below. Definitely try to enter the giveaway. Anybody can enter it.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, he did that all in one take. He didn't even...
One take!
That is talent, guys. Now that is talent. I have to give it up. That was good.
Though I would not... I'll probably not make it in the voice acting industry.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't be down on yourself.
I'm a judger. I judge voice acting. I don't do voice acting.
You might be surprised. I watched one of your streams a while ago. You were doing some SpongeBob, I think.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yes. Yeah. I thought it was decent. So hey.
Thank you.
But you never know.
But yes, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you again, Josh Graham, the voice of Calloway Storm, Falcron, and Everett Ray himself. Definitely, guys, subscribe for more awesome Bakugan content.
Perfect. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. And yes, sub to the man right here. He's got more Bakugan content for you.
We'll definitely keep in touch.
Keep in touch, man. Take care.
Yeah, you want to say one last Bakugan brawl?
Okay, who do you want it?
I think the fans want Storm.
You want Storm? Bakugan Brawl! Or we do Everett. Hey, Leah, you want to get in my movie? You're going to have to fight me. Bakugan Brawl! And then what would Falcron say? What would he say?
Just do
Feed me a line.
Probably do his scream when he pops open.
Oh my god, okay. There we go.